The Grey Cup is returning to Hamilton for the second time in 3 years. The Grey Cup, one of the oldest trophies in professional sports and the pinnacle of Canadian football, will be hoisted on November 19th at Tim Hortons Field. Joining us now to discuss all things Grey Cup and sports is Neil Lumsden, Ontario's Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport, and member of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Minister Lumsden, thank you very much for joining us on Forum Daily.
Well, this is great.
The Grey Cup, I mean, you're a former player, you're a former Ticats. The province is involved in terms of facilitating an event like this happening in Hamilton. What has the province's role been in terms of funding or support for the Grey Cup?
Well, the original investment was made a number of years ago by the previous minister for the Grey Cup, and what we've done is really the Hamilton Sport Group have done a really, really good job of taking the event and expanding it, not just to be a Hamilton-centric, but more of a regional piece. Mm-hmm. So as we were approached a number of months ago saying, look, by the Hamilton Sport Group, would we be interested in seeing an expanded version of it and bring it to the Niagara area, and how would they go about doing that? It was very interesting. So we listened to them, we looked at their plan, we saw the economic impact of what the Grey Cup is and how it could also help in Niagara and this region in total. And it made perfect sense. It really did, because, and I don't think this concept has been done across the country anywhere else that's hosted the Grey Cup from a regional perspective. Then maybe because geographically they haven't been able to, it's not as effective as it is here. But coming into Niagara region for their player awards, which will be great on the Thursday night, a concert that's going to be there. We're going to have a sport forum earlier in the day. It's really going to, the Grey Cup is an event like no other in many ways. Yeah. But one of the reasons it becomes so impactful within a community, and why a lot of teams want to host it, is because Grey Cup fans travel really well. They don't have to be in the game to want to be part of what's going on. Yep. And I noticed that as a player, and I've certainly noticed it as in the executive side when I was with the Ticats. And it really just creates, it's not a 2 or 3 day, it's going to start on Wednesday. Yeah. And it's go right through to the end of the game on Sunday. And so much is going on in Hamilton. So because of the economic impact is so great and so positive, and the environment and the energy that goes with this game or this festival is so impactful, it just makes perfect sense for us to be part of it.
And is that really what makes this type of funding worth it? Because it has those spillover effects and regionalization of commerce and business.
Listen. When we make these decisions, I take the player and the management side away from my love of the game, of course, and say, what's going to make sense? What does make sense for the people in the region? How does it help tourism? Yeah. How does it impact the economy? And not in a long-term way, but in a short-term. It happens right now. Yeah. This event is going to help, just like tourism does when you're up north in a smaller or larger community. It's immediate. When people come in and you want them to get to stay a little bit longer, and that's one of the things when I've talked about the great people across our province that are involved in tourism, said if we could get them to one more day, add 2 to 3 days, the impact across the province is massive. And that's what we want to be able to do. And this is a great example of it.
And so for that program that is part of this, what else has the Blockbuster program funded in terms of sport or other initiatives under your ministry?
Well, it's not, the ministry has done a great job for a lot of years. And World Juniors will be an example in a couple of years in Ottawa. Again, something that the television audience, the migration of people coming not just for 1 or 2 days, but for a week and a half. Also learned GT20, a cricket tournament was held in Brampton not that long ago. Yep. And everyone said, what's the big deal about it? Well, I know a little bit about cricket. Yep. I played the game as a kid. I love it. It has massive impact across the world, not so much in North America. Until you start talking about these international players coming over as they did and playing a tournament where they're Canadian players international. It was great cricket. But then you talk about the television audience and the impact it has around the world, not just in Ontario. So we hosted and participated and supported an event that was worldwide and had an audience of 150 million. So
there are 150 million.
Yeah. Okay. So when you look in those terms and think, Well, we don't look at it that way. It's
Yeah.
either, it's a ball, it's either baseball or something else. But cricket internationally is an enormous sport.
Yeah.
And the stars are just as big. And we had some of the best cricket played in a long time played right here in
Ontario.
Brampton, Ontario.
Oh, that's great.
And the results were there.
We'll be right back.